Hi guys, there has been a rather large patch out on the 2nd of June. Today is the 3rd. I couldn't get to my game on the day of the patch, unfortunately, and I've been uh, rushing to process some other footage from other games that I had because I had to free up space to record this, so I imagine this video will be available either on the 3rd of June or maybe even on the 4th. So the patch has brought quite a few new changes to the game. So there are two, probably the biggest ones. So the first one is the removal of gender barrier on a lot of the create a sim stuff. So I'm gonna quickly jump into create a sim and go through some of this stuff just to give you an overall idea. I'm not going to go through everything because I've actually also created a video that goes through literally everything that's been added, but that video is really long. So in this one I'm gonna quickly go for a couple of things, but if you want to see absolutely everything, I will link the other video that goes through every single piece of create a sim stuff in the video description. So you may have noticed that the interface looks a little bit different, so there are a couple new options. First of all, there's they've changed how the gender buttons look, I guess, I would say. So as before, there's the male option and the female option, but now you can also access the gender settings. So right now she is a feminine female, but I can also change it to a masculine female. And you can see her eyes, nose, lips and her body shape changed to a male equivalent, but not all of it. So for instance, she still has breasts because she is recognized as a female by the game, but her eyes and like her facial structure essentially changes to like the male equivalent. So whatever her female eyes are in the male variety, they'll be changed, and her nose and her lips and so on. So there's also a clothing preference. There's feminine and masculine. I believe this is the thing that adds a filter into the window of options, so like hair and clothing and stuff. So then there's also an option that is relevant to your sim's ability to become pregnant or impregnate others. So right now Alicia can become pregnant, but you can also change her to give her an ability to impregnate others, as well as an option to basically be neither. So she cannot be pregnant and she cannot impregnate others. So I can see this being quite handy for storytellers. For instance, if you create a female who cannot have children, for example, or even a male who isn't fertile. Then there's the last option, which is can this sim use the toilet standing up? So no, yes and no. It's pretty straightforward, so whether your sim will be able to pee while standing up or not. So even if it's a female, feminine female, you can still choose yes or no. But I'm gonna change this to what it was originally. I'm gonna show you what happens when I change it to a male. So this is what she looks like as a male, but if I change it to a masculine female, she obviously looks quite different, because you can see her makeup and like the clothes are basically carried over as a masculine female. But if I do change it to a male, everything changes. So her clothing changes, her makeup is removed. And also if I make her a feminine male, you can see her facial structure is pretty much the same as a feminine female. So it's pretty much unchanged there. So I'm just gonna undo and redo. And also you do have to be a male sim to have facial hair. So right now she's a feminine male. So if I click on her face, you can see I have facial hair option here, and obviously if she's a masculine male, she also has, well, he also has a facial hair option. But if I change Alicia to a female, As a feminine female, she does not have the facial hair option, and if I change it to a masculine female, she doesn't have it either, so you do have to be a male to be able to have facial hair. Right, I'm going to change back to feminine. There's also some changes to the voice, so you can see there's 3 additional options here. So the first 3 are the existing female voices, and they've added the 3 male ones here as well. So basically females will have the 3 male ones and males will have the 3 females ones. So everyone has 6 voice options. I don't believe there are any new walks, so it's just whatever was there before. But in terms of things like hair, hats, accessories, makeup, tattoos, clothing, I would say about 90% of the stuff has been enabled for both genders. So I'm going to show you a couple of things, just a quick selection. So for instance, a tattoo. This one was originally a male-only tattoo, this heart, but now it's available for women as well. And actually I'm gonna show you a female-only tattoo on a guy, I suppose. So, where is it? So this little heart here on his shoulder, that was previously a female-only tattoo, but now it's available on men as well. So basically all the tattoos are available for both genders. So now men can have the wings and this chest tattoo that was previously a female-only tattoo, I believe, and so on. And the females got like the male arm tattoos and stuff. So I'm gonna show a couple hairs. I'm just gonna remove this hat now. So females did get a number of male hairs. So you would need to remove the filter to see all of them, otherwise it might hide some of them. So I'm just gonna maybe show you 3. So let's see, the first one, let's go with this one. So this one was a male only hair from Cool Kitchen stuff bag. So now it's available for females as well, and I believe it is like a gender neutral hair. So it should be visible with the feminine filter on. But there's also like masculine hair, such as this one, because obviously this is like a balding hair, and women don't really normally bald in this fashion. So this one would be hidden behind the masculine tag, so you should not see it if you have the feminine filter on. And the last one, I suppose I'll show you this one. There are a couple hairs that have some issues with them, so like this one, it's not too bad, but there is a little bit of like a vertex here. It's like a triangle that's stretching from the face towards the hair. You may not really see it very well. It's not as visible on her. I've seen it look way worse on other Sims. Maybe because she's dark-skinned and she has dark hair, I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see like there's a triangle there, and I guess I'll show another glitchy one. So this one, you can see there's like a split between the face and the hairline here. So there are a couple issues with some of the hairs that have been enabled from male to female and vice versa. But overall, yeah, there's, I'd say most of them are quite decent. So I know I said I'm gonna show 3, I've already showed 4, I'm just gonna show, I don't know, 3 more, just literally click in them. So there's another short one, and there's this one. So there's tons of new short hairs for women. As for the men got a lot of the long styles that females had, so I'm gonna remove the masculine tag here, so you can see they're beginning to be shown here. So there's like this one, also like show a couple. So there's the braid, the side braid from Get Together, and what I'm most happy with is the fact that the certain female hairs are now available, so like the dreadlocks, the braids, and the afros, because I could never understand why they were not releasing them for men. Because like females had a bunch of them in base game, and then with every new expansion they seem to get more and more, whereas men did not have anything. They just have like one tiny little afro, I think, or they may not even have that, and they like didn't have any braids or anything. So now they do have the dreadlocks in two varieties, so the normal ones and the ones with like colored bits. And they also got the afro from base game, so the round one, because that was originally female only, and they also have the braids too, so that's always a plus, because I used to complain about it quite a bit. My main sim in my household is based on like my Sims 3 sim, and he had dreadlocks in Sims 3, and I would complain that I can't give him dreadlocks in Sims 4 because there are none, so now I can finally do that. So yes, it's probably one of my biggest, I don't know, it's like one of the biggest things that excited me the most about this patch, is the dreads for males and the braids as well. Same with the hats, so I'm gonna show you one hat. So this one was a male only previously hat, so they turned cap, but now it's available for women as well, which I'm quite happy with, because I really like this hat, and I'm happy that women can wear it now, because I always wanted it. And also, well, I suppose I'll show two. So there's bandana too, that was a male only hat previously, but now it's a female hat as well. So same thing with accessories. I suppose I'll show you on the male. So there's all the feminine earrings now available for men too. And also, if you're worried about the game creating townies, like wearing, for instance, a male townie that is wearing a gown with a ridiculous feminine hairdo and earrings, I don't think you should be alarmed, because you saw me remove a filter just now. Basically, anything that isn't recognized as masculine by the game should not, I would imagine, be pushed on a townie by the game randomly. So for instance, you can see in terms of makeup, everything here with a masculine filter is whatever was available previously, so just alien makeup and a couple lipsticks and a couple eyeliners. But if I remove the filter, you can see it gives me an option to choose a lot of the feminine makeup that is otherwise hidden if you don't touch the filter. So you should not be worried about your Sims wearing unwanted hairs, makeup and clothing. I guess while I'm here I'm gonna show a full body outfit, a feminine one, so I'm gonna apply a filter. So the filter can be found here as well, so fashion choice, masculine, feminine. I'm going to tick the feminine one, so it's showing me feminine clothing. So as you can see, there's a dress that I can put on him now, but if I put the masculine tag here, you can see it's not listed, so this dress should not be randomized on a townie by the game, so you should not be worried if that's something you were worried about. Same with females, I suppose, so I'm gonna change the tag to masculine, so you can see I have this tuxedo here. I'm just gonna remove this hat quickly, so women can now wear this. But if I change it to feminine tag, the tuxedo is not here now. So for instance, if my game was to create a new townie, she would not be wearing this. I would have to manually put her in this. So as I already said about 5 times, you should not worry if that was a concern. Okay, so what else should I show? Style looks. So once again, there's a filter here, but if you remove it, you should have the options for both genders. So right now it's showing me female ones, but there's a male one there. And so is that one, that's a female one, so I'm gonna find a male one. So there's hip and casual. And if I put it on her, you can see it applied the top, the bottoms, and the shoes, and the glasses. Oh, and also, same with the hair, there are some issues with the clothing, the gender swapped clothing. So here you can see her breasts are a little bit blocky there, and a lot of the male to female pants are a bit tragic, so I think these ones are. So you can see the crotch area is being like pulled in and down, which creates this weird little triangle thing between the legs, which looks a bit weird. It doesn't happen on all of the bottoms, but it does affect quite a few of the male to female bottoms, unfortunately. So I'm gonna show you another quite bad one. I think it's this one, yeah. So you can see the crotch has been pulled inwards, and then it's like sticking out there, creating like a weird little pointy penis on her. But otherwise there are a number of things that are not really that offensive. So for instance, these pants here, that were previously male only, they look decent on a female. Guess I'll try a top as well. Okay, this one. Oh no, it's the one she already has on. Okay, this one. So that's from movie stuff, and that was a male, previously male only one, but now it's a female one as well. So there are a couple issues. So for instance, on the neckline, it's being a bit pulled upwards, but I would say the male to female pants are probably the worst offenders in that respect. Most of the other clothing is just a little bit wonky, like around the breasts on female sims, but overall it's, I'd say it's not too bad. I guess I'm gonna show maybe like a separate here on a male sim. So I'm choosing a feminine filter here. I'm gonna choose something that's more or less neutral. Okay, this one for instance. So that was a female only shirt previously, but now you can see. So yeah, in terms of female to male clothing, especially tops, I guess the biggest issue is like the shading. So some of the shirts might give an illusion of breasts even when there are none, obviously, because she doesn't have any. But there is like some shadowing because it is a texture that was originally female only. So this is also a previously female top, but it doesn't look too bad on him, I would say. And I'm going to choose a female bottom here. Okay, I'll do these. So these were female only jeans from, oh god, what's the stuff back with the ice cream? Can't remember, but yeah, that one. So you can see how they look on men, so they look pretty decent there. And shoes as well, I've already showed, I think. Have I showed heels? Can't remember. I guess I'm gonna put them in heels for a moment, just to show you. So men do have access to heels if you remove the filter. But also Uggs and other stuff that was female only before. So I don't think I'm gonna show the children's stuff, but it's pretty much the same. So here's Trevor in a dress, being dainty and florid. But yes, the children's stuff isn't as diverse. Well, it hasn't changed as much, simply because a lot of the stuff, at least from the recent content, was already being basically unisex. So girls were getting the short hairstyles, and a lot of the like the shoes and the trousers and tops were enabled for both genders. But obviously little boys got like long hairstyles and girls got the short hairstyles, but the biggest changes are for the adult Sims. So you can see he's got some makeup on now and a pretty dress. Put him in a beautiful gown there. I don't think I've showed you the have I showed you the feminine, male feminine? So this is what he looks like if I change him to a feminine male. So his facial structure, similarly with the female, it changes to like the female equivalent. So you can see his like nose changed and his lips changed as well. But if I change him to a masculine female, just gonna remove the sunglasses, he looks pretty much identical to how he looks as a masculine male. Well, his hair changed, but he looks pretty much the same in terms of his facial structure as a male and female, so that's him as a masculine female. Oh, and before I forget, I know I mentioned that about 90% of 80 or 90% was changed or enabled to both genders, but there are a couple of things that are currently not available for one gender from the other. So for instance, this hair here from Get Together, this braided one, for some reason it is not currently available for men, so I will not find it in the list at all. I'm not really sure why, because I believe that hair is more or less, I would say, unisex. I mean, more unisex than some of the other stuff that men did receive. But this hair is not available for men at the moment. I don't really know if they're in a process of enabling more stuff as they go or not, but right now it is not available. And also there's a sexy underwear set from base game for female Sims that I have also not seen for men. Those are just like the two things that kind of stood out to me straight away. There's probably other stuff. So like this one I could not find in the male menu either. So yeah, there might be more stuff, but these two were the ones that like stood out to me the most. Like with the because I actually wanted this hair to be enabled for men, but it isn't. But yeah, I do hope that they are in the process of enabling more stuff and perhaps fixing the issues on the existing stuff. Also, I showed you the wonky female hair, but there's quite a couple bad male ones as well. So mainly it's like long hair that's kind of like squished around the shoulders. So this one, for instance, you can see it just looks a bit strange here, because obviously the female one is just like a nice wave, but this one just like it's extruding towards the left here. And there's also probably the worst one is this one. So you can see these strands are just looking very fractured and broken up and like squished here. So there are some issues with some of the hairs, just like with the clothes, but overall I'd say I am pretty pleased with the enabled stuff, because like I said, I'm happy that males can now have dreads and braids and females have more short styles to choose from, and same with clothing, but mainly aimed at women, because they did receive quite a number of like jeans and like cool tops that I personally would wear in real life. Men, I mean, they received like a bit more accessories. I'm not really that fussed about the clothing because a lot of it is quite feminine that I don't think I would be using on many of my Sims, like dresses and gowns. But I guess it's always a good thing to have variety. gonna make you a pretty, pretty beautiful magical fairy. But yeah, I'm gonna jump into the world now and go through the lighting change. Okay, so I'm currently in a house in Willow Creek, and I'm trying to observe the lighting in this little room here, this little sunroom. So I can see some of it, like from the windows. You do have to be playing on a, I think it's either high or very high. I believe it's probably very high graphics setting for lighting. So if you do have a weaker computer and you're unable to play on high lighting setting, you might not observe this. But I can see this light here, and it looks quite pretty, I would say. Obviously it depends on the house shape, position, like the windows, the time of day. It depends on a lot of things. So for instance, I imagine if you have a lot of trees like around your room, you probably won't get a lot of light like this, because the light would be blocked by the trees. And also, like, it depends on the windows too. If your windows are quite small, you're gonna have way less of this like sun rays. So it depends on a lot of things. It's kind of hard to show it. I might have to give a couple examples. So you can see it's like a little bit there as well. So it like travels how the sun goes. So right now, sun is somewhere there, I think. No? Oh, it's like it's right above the house. So when it like goes around, it will cast different shadows every time. I'm gonna try and maybe give another example in a different lot somewhere. Just need to figure out where. Do you have anything here on the second floor? Not right now, I think, because the sun currently is right above us. I'm just gonna speed this up. Okay, so you can start to see like the light going this way now in these windows. So, but once again, I do have quite a few trees around, so it's probably blocking a lot of the light. There's a little bit here as well. So yeah, it does depend on like the time of day and the house position, shape, window shape, and so on. But it is quite pretty. I do like this. I don't know how it's gonna like affect different lots that I've already uploaded though. I hope they are casting nice sunlight like this, and also I believe the same actually happens during the night, so with the moonlight it should do the same thing, but obviously it'll probably be not as yellow. But that's what I read in the patch notes. There's like a very big shadow here with some leaves moving, I see. So that's quite pretty. I know it's just a bit stretched, like a single plane here, but still. It looks quite nice. But yeah, I'm gonna try to find another example for you guys. I've traveled to probably one of the few modern houses in my world just to see what's happening here, because many of my lots do have kind of small windows. So I can see like a nice shadow here from like this window, and also like on the bed from these ones, the little ones. So it is quite nice. There's a couple of bigger windows down here that you can also see the shadows, the sun from too, so like you can see the nice shadows there. And I quite like when the sim walks through the light, you can like see the sim shadow too. So I'm just gonna make him walk down. Quickly. Okay, so you can like see his shadow there. So yeah, I quite like this. This is quite nice. It is a bit of a bummer that you have to be playing on very high lighting graphics, so I imagine obviously not everyone would be able to enjoy this. I've also noticed that for some reason all of my photographs have been unframed. So I'm guessing this is something new in the patch as well, because that never happened to me before. Like the paintings remained framed, but it seems that all of the photographs have been unframed, which is weird. But in case you're wondering why your photographs are not framed, it's probably because of the patch. Another new addition to the patch is the ability to resize photographs now, because before we couldn't. So I'm gonna try and do this now. So there you can see I've increased it in size because it was originally small, because before it would just like increase the frame but leave the graphics small, so it was just looking very awkward. So now you can resize your photographs. So it is quite handy if you wanted to make like big ones. So I think that's the biggest size there is. I'm just gonna enable the cheats quickly. I'm gonna resize this one. So you can see it has become quite large. I'm gonna put it here. So that is quite handy, I do like this. I wonder how if the size is kept when like the lot is uploaded. I'd have to try that out. I haven't tried that out yet. I also wonder if paintings can be resized now. So okay, I have one there. Okay, so paintings can be resized as well. So I am really happy about this, because just like with the photographs, previously if you wanted to resize a painting, it would just pretty much break the object. You would not do it properly, so now you can. So that's really cool. One more thing, so previously if you had a table, obviously, and then you buy some chairs, they slot to the table, but now you can do it the other way around, so you can place a chair, and then if you buy a table, you can see the table will slot right to the chair. I'll redo this. Okay, so there's a chair and there's a table. I'm gonna rotate so you can see. It lets me place it in various ways, but it's snapped right to the chair. It does seem to change the placement though, because I tried to do it in the center, so maybe it's not working completely. So okay, that's like one side, center, one side, so I'm trying to do the center. Yeah, and it like moves away. But yeah, you can now slot tables to chairs, and you already could do it the other way around. There are a number of fixes to interactions and stuff that I'm not really gonna go through, because I'm not really interested in most of that stuff. It's very like situational, but there is, as far as I can tell, one change regarding lighting. So previously at times, if you had strong lighting in like one room, it would for some reason kind of be passed over on the floor above, even if the floor above had absolutely no lights. So according to the patch notes, they have fixed that. I don't really know how to test that, so I don't think I can. There are also a couple new things in the buy mode. There's a new wallpaper, so it can be found in masonry, and it should be the first one in the list. But if it isn't, the new one is called Unbend Smoothness, and this is what it looks like. So it has a bunch of different colors there, but it just looks a bit cementy. You can see here there are also some new carpet swatches. So the carpets themselves are not new, so they are the two existing ones, but they have added a couple new swatches that you can see here. I think that's all of them. I think the light ones were already there, so they would be in carpets. So it's this one, plush comfort carpeting, and trumpet vine embossed carpet. So these are the new swatches. In addition, I've added another extra swatch to some of the base game doors and windows, so the more modern ones. You can see there's like a new swatch at the back, so it's like black with something or all black, so it just depends on the type of door or window. But yeah, they will have a black frame and either a black or like this light wood door. There might be more, these are the ones that like I saw straight away. I haven't checked all of them. There's also a new poster, this one, it's called Plombosion. So it can be found in decor and paintings and posters or whatever that category is called, the one with all the wall art. There is also a new object that I found, so it's this like empty bottle of, I'm not sure if it's meant to be like an empty bottle of alcohol or some kind of sauce, or maybe it's just something else and I just think it's a bottle. It doesn't have a name, it just says debug. And also in terms of debug, I've noticed that a lot of this stuff have gotten new improved thumbnails. So it's mainly food and drink, but there have been other objects that have received a better thumbnail as well. So I'm just scrolling through here so you can see like these mugs now look different, and these are glasses of potions also look different now, and like all the drinks and all the food on dishes as well, and the dishes, empty dishes too. And one more thing, invisible lights also now have better thumbnails, because before they were just, you couldn't really see anything, it was like an empty one. So now you can actually see the light shape and size. Sims have a new option to drink water as well, so if you click on a sink, you should see a new option called Get Water, which I'm going to do now. So Poppy here just filled up a glass and is now drinking it. So it doesn't really have anything special about it, just says quality normal, water made by Poppy. I also believe there should be a new animation for Woohoo in bed, that's what I've read people reporting. But I've tried on 3 different beds and for some reason it is not working for me, so they just do it normally, and then like the animation kind of staggers and then they teleport into the bed and, while they're sleeping. So I don't know if there's an issue with the animation or what, because this is currently a completely modless game, so it shouldn't be an issue of mods or anything. But I do believe I've probably showed everything that I can think of that I found new with the patch. If I have missed something, I do apologize. I hope this video was fun to watch, not awfully long, it probably will still be quite long. I'd like to thank you for watching, and I shall see you later.